With E3 prominently in the gaming headlines, we thought it was a good idea to talk about game trailers and the actual gameplay that we show, either as content makers, either as game critics, or by people such as IGN and GameSpot who do everything under the sun to do with gaming. Now, one of the things that was definitely noticeable was the trailers that showed the big gameplay, such as Battlefield Hardline and Assassin's Creed Unity, where you can go and view everything you wanted to see, whether it be the context, whether it be some of the combat, what the actual game was aiming for, and so on and so forth. But there were bad examples such as Halo 5, where we saw literally Master Chief's face and another person's face.
Yeah, it was just
and that was it.
Or something.
For example, Doom. Why do we need a trailer to tell us that we're going to have an announcement at QuakeCon? I'm like, couldn't you have just told us this? Like the Phantom Pain, for example. Showed no gameplay.
Look, it was how long was it?
No,
it was
actual
like 3
thing.
minutes.
Very hard to follow if you haven't played the game.
Yeah, you just I didn't actually. It did not increase my interest in the game, thus defeating the point of the trailer. 2, I did not understand it. 3, it just did not. It didn't do anything. It didn't advance. It didn't develop the story. It didn't develop the characters. It didn't show me anything I wanted to know about the game. If anything, it put me off the game because I was like, well, if you've got nothing to show, then why should I be interested? Because if you have something to show, you should show it, right?
And the last example was The Order. Despite the fact it did show gameplay,
yeah, it was like for 2 seconds.
There was nothing. There was nothing relevant actually shown. It was very much there's one enemy here. We're going to prolong the actual game time so that we can show more on screen. But actually, in reality, there was only realistically 5 to 10 seconds where we saw the actual shooting mechanics and the cover mechanic,
where you're fully
on.
In control. Yeah, that's the thing. Because what puts me off is when games don't tell me what I want to know. Like they just show stuff that does not increase my knowledge about the game, increase my interest in the game, or make any kind of promotional, do anything really that's useful. What I want to see is if you've got something that's good, what you would do is you would actually show it. Like, for example, Battlefield Hardline, they didn't mess about with like a fancy trailer at the start. It was just straight in the gameplay, right? And they just showed you what they got. They let the gameplay do the talking. They let the game do the talking. They didn't have to do some fancy trailer or cinematic thing like, Dead Island. I mean, what was that originally?
It didn't show you whether the world was going to be any bigger. It didn't show any new weapons. It didn't show whether it was story driven. It didn't show whether there was going to be any new vehicles. It didn't show whether you'd be able to transport. It didn't show anything like that. All we actually knew out of that 1.5 minute trailer was that the zombies were going to look hopefully graphically better, but bearing in mind it was a scripted trailer, who knows, and the fact that the game just exists.
Yeah.
And it's coming to what platforms, but actually that was only said afterwards rather than in the trailer itself.
Yeah.
So it kind of defeats the object. You could have had a 10-second trailer which basically said, Dead Island 2's coming! Yay guys, get excited!
Yeah. The original Dead Island trailer, I mean, that is probably the most misleading one. It really just did not.
As an actual movie trailer, it would have been fine because it was just simply a rewind.
Yeah.
However, it doesn't give you anything about what's in the game, what you can do, who the characters are. Nothing. That none of the characters are in it. There is no rewinding in the game. If you were going to put that kind of trailer in Remember Me, fair enough.
Yeah.
But if you're going to put it in something else, then why bother?
Like, okay, let's say you release a trailer, but you haven't quite worked on the game, and you don't want people to make early judgments. Fine, but at least make the trailer relevant to the game. Don't just do something that's completely unrelated. What I look for a lot of the time is, can I, from this trailer, actually guess what genre of game? Can I guess? Is it a shooter? Is it like a third-person brawler? Is it a fighting game? Is it a racing? What is it? I want to actually first get the genre, know what I'm dealing with, and then decide my interest.
Another thing that's interesting is I've not been someone interested in Halo. I've not been someone involved in the franchise. I've not bought a game. I haven't played it with friends. It's not been something I've been interested in. However, when it came to actually watching the content, I thought, okay, it's really popular. A lot of people seem to like it. It all seems to have really positive reviews. I'll see what it's about. And yet I was kind of like, well, I've seen a guy with a green mask who does talking. As far as I'm aware, there is no shooting involved.
Yeah.
There is no basically all I'm aware is that there's a TV series coming out because his
huge,
face was in it. Basically what I'm saying is, if you want to advertise a television series, then you can do a trailer like that. If you want to actually advertise a game, show me the game.
Yeah, show the game, because, okay, if you're a Halo fan, you already know what to expect, right? But the point is, you don't make trailers for Halo fans. You make you want to, because the fans are going to buy the game regardless, because they know what to expect. What you want to do is actually show people that really don't have much experience in the franchise or don't really know it. Try and attract them. Try and make them see what's great about Halo.
For the record, I do know what Halo is. It's just an example.
Yeah. It's just this, really, that they make too many assumptions. They just give out trailers. In these trailers, they just show stuff that doesn't really need showing.
One of the best examples of people reading too much into trailers is DMC Devil May Cry, because the first trailer that people got showed no gameplay and was very much kind of a story and character introducer. And when you actually look at the actual game that shipped, you'll notice that the character's different, the combat's probably not what people expected, it's not as gritty or emo as it possibly could have been, the demons are as kind of elaborate as you get. Dante is still cocky, but he's not an absolute gobshite. The point is that people were so hung up on the points of the original trailer in 2011, I believe, that when it came to 2013, a full 2 years after the original reveal, the total game was totally different, but no one bought it because they were so stuck on the original trailer.
Exactly, this is the point. Like, if you reveal, not only the first information you reveal is just a trailer, is very loosely related to the game, and is false information or badly representative of the game, and that's what people have to go off. They're going to it's called the halo effect. People just judge the rest of the game by one tiny thing. And that's what you want to really avoid, because if I'd never really been into Devil May Cry, I'd never tried one. I really liked DMC, but what made me buy it was the gameplay. And the trailer, if I watched the trailer, I watched the trailer after playing the game, and it put me off the game. So you want to really avoid showing misrepresentative. You want to, if your game is purely about the gameplay, right? You want to show stuff that's related to the gameplay. If your game is primarily story driven, show like story driven stuff and make it representative.